Hi my crafty friends, it's Beverly here over at Crafting Chaos with a quick how-to video. I'm going to show you how to import a font into your computer and use it to create a greeting that you can then get your brother scan and cut to either draw, or if you wanted to, you could even get it to cut it out. I often use this for sentiments that I haven't got that I want to write that's a sort of a bespoke sentiment. Like I did on my lion card, and I wanted to write lion in the sun as a play on words, kind of lion in the sun. And obviously I didn't have a stamp for that, so I wanted a nice scripty looking font that I could then get my brother scan and cut to draw exactly where I wanted. So let's get to it. So first of all, you're going to go to Dafont. Now you could use another font search engine to find different fonts. I tend to use this one as it doesn't seem to have any glitches or any viruses associated with it. And the one that I was going to use and the one that I used on my card is one called Better Together. So if I locate that on the computer and search, it should then bring up the Better Together font, and you can see it's a really nice scripty looking font. It's a demo font, and you can see what that means by clicking demo. So as long as you are using it in this case for your own purposes and not for commercial purposes, then you should be fine. But just be careful to make sure that you do check on copyright issues. So this is what you would do. You would then click download, and then that will send it to your downloads folder, or in my case it does go straight to the downloads folders. You might have to direct it to where it comes to, but wherever your downloads go when you download to your computer or to your Mac, that's where you'd find the folder. Now on a Mac, I can't comment for the Windows users among us, but it'll be a similar process, and you can always Google how to install a font on a Windows based machine. You would just open the folder where the font is located, and then you double click it. That will open it up, give you a view of what it looks like, and click install font. Now I'm not going to install it again because I have already got it installed on my computer, but that's what I would do. Now because I am on a Mac, I've not got the downloadable version of Canvas Workspace, so I'm having to still use the type converter software that is free from Brother to create my greetings. So what I will now need to do is launch that piece of software, and then if I type the greeting that I typed, which was lion in the sun, for my lion card, and then I locate the font in my list, Better Together, and I can preview it, and you can see it is nice and scripted, and it does give that nice effect. So close. You would then click on save and choose on your computer where you would want to save it to, and then you can load it into your machine. I would normally opt to save it into my hard drive, backup drive if you will, and then save it to my FCM files. But as I've already downloaded the font, I'm not going to do it again because I'm going to just pull it up from there. So I would give it a name, something like what it's about, so lion in the sun, and then download it or save it. So I'm not, like I say, I'm not going to save it because I've already done that. So what I will do now is pretend that I've done that and close it, and there I can send away the type converter. Now if I go to Canvas Workspace and I choose new project once I'm logged in, it will give me an empty map, and because it's an FCM file that I'm wanting to import, it's this icon here, SVG, which allows me to import SVG's DXM FCF. Okay, so I would click on that, then go on choose file, go into my file locations where I've got my FCM file for the lion in the sun saved. There it is. and I'm going to click open and then say OK. That will bring a copy of the font or the sentiment onto my desktop so you can see. So I've just highlighted and selected everything, and there seems to be, if I select everything again, you'll see there seems to be something here that doesn't really belong to the sentiment, but it's there. And if we don't deal with that, it's going to stay there. So what I'm going to do is, I know it's there, I'm just going to select that part of my map, hit backspace, and now that's got rid of that, whatever it was. Now I've got the lion in the sun, so I'm just going to separate it. I'm going to now group that initially so that I can move these independently to where I would like them to be. So I might have them there, and I could also do the sun maybe here, and you can play around with this on your screen how you'd like your sentiment and the layout of it to look. That's entirely your preference. Now what I would say is, if we zoom in, you can see how the letters are not actually connected at this point, and because of that, if we go to view and we flood it with colour so you can see what's happening, that one's okay because it's all joined together, so we could actually just weld that one and that would be okay. But if we do the same thing with the others and flood fill those with colour, you'll see that where the holes should be on the words, they're actually not holes anymore. Now that's fine in the sense that if you wanted to cut it out, and if I do it a different colour other than black, you'll see what I mean, because if you've got that, it is going to cut round that. So if you're just cutting it and you want to, and you're not bothered about welding it, it's not going to be an issue because you can just weed that out. However, if you want to weld the word and click weld, what will happen is you'll see, I'm trying to weld too many letters there, you can see that then it has actually welded that hole to the L, so now you're not going to get that at all. So what you need to do is, to deal with that, you need to select it and then go on edit, and you want to process the overlap, and you need to divide. And what that's actually doing is dividing those sections, so you can actually highlight them now and delete them where you need to. And now if I just select that word again and edit and click weld, you'll see that, oh, something's not touching. Oh, it's the dot on the I. So that's causing an issue there. So if I move that away, because it's not part of the path, and then try to weld, it should solve the problem. Oh, overlaps with the lines slightly moved. Try the operation again. So again, we've got something that's overlapping irregularly, and it looks like it could be that L. So we'll just try again. No, it's not having it this today for some reason, and I'm not really sure why, because it worked perfect. It might be, are they grouped? They're not grouped. So if we group them and try welding again, and that time, and if you look, it, because that one's not fully overlapped, that's what it was, the L that was causing the problem before, but now it's actually welded them together. You can see that. Now if I repeat that procedure there, we go to process the overlap and divide, again we can remove these sections. You can either just drag them away and delete them all together by highlighting them, or delete them as you go. And again, now if I select those and group them and then weld them, that's now welded, taken the weld out. Again, this one we can now weld it together. And if we put it all into black now, if you're just wanting to draw that, that's the file as it will draw, and that's what I did. So all I did then was, given the project a title, so lion in the sun, and then I select on download, and it gives me the option on my machine to either transfer it to my PC. You may have Wi-Fi, or you may have it connected to your machine via a cable. My only method, because mine's the original CM600 model that came out at the launch of the Scan and Cut, so I've had mine for several years now. My only option is to download. So I would then download it and then put it on to a pen drive, or I could download it straight directly to a pen drive and then put it into my Scan and Cut, and I could actually just choose to draw it. Now, one other thing you need to be aware of, if you want it to be filled in so that it's solid lines, before you save it, you need to make it a drawing line, but also check the fill the area in the outline with the drawing function, because although it is quite a fine font, it will still fill that in for you so that it does look really clear and dark black in colour. So that's the final thing you need to be aware of, is just make sure that you've got that fill the area. So if I just show you again, highlight them both, all the things. I'm going to group them so that we can see what we're doing. Bring up the properties box, and then in the properties box you want drawing line, and then fill the area in the outline with a drawing function. That will mean that when it actually draws that for you, it will colour all the letters in as they appear on the screen as you see them now. And also, if I pull up my picture of my lion, if you just bear with, I'm going to go to where I've got it saved, which is in the downloads, I believe, and double click. You can see my lion in the sun there. If we just zoom in on that bit, is actually coloured completely black. Now obviously that's zoomed in a lot, doesn't look pixelated in reality, it's just because we've zoomed in such a lot on this photograph. So that's how I did it, and you can create any sentiment you wish bespoke to whatever project that you're making. So if you've not got quite the right words as it was, you know that you can indeed create your own. Well, that's all for now. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Tell your friends where to find me, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.